Hello everyone, today I will be talking about how to afford crazy high tuition fees in American universities. Most of the things I will talk about will apply to international students, but it's technically applicable to everyone. So without a long introduction, I'll just get right into business. Make sure you stay until the end for a bonus tip as a technique on how to significantly increase your chances of getting a funding. It's coming from my own experience when I was an international student. Anyways, there are three main ways you can fund your American education in the US. First one is scholarships. Second one, assistantships, be it a graduate assistant, a teaching assistant, and research assistant. And last one is student jobs. All right, so the first option for funding, and which is the most common one, it's the scholarships. Most of the scholarships in American universities are either merit-based or need-based. There aren't many need-based scholarships in the US, but you may come across some of them when you do your research for a school. For example, there are some schools in the US that are need-blind, and what it basically means that your ability to pay for a tuition and a fee, it doesn't really play a role whether you are accepted to a university, waitlisted, or rejected. These universities don't 100% guarantee a full tuition waiver depending on your need, but you would have a considerably higher amount of a chance to get a need-based scholarship in those universities. So what you can do is you can go to your target school website, research about it, see if there is a need-based scholarship and if you are a need-based student. Or you can go to Google, you can search need-blind universities in the US. You will see a list of dozens of American universities that do provide need-based scholarships, and they are need-blind. The second type of a scholarship that I want to talk about is the merit-based scholarships. These are more common. There are literally thousands of American universities that give out merit-based scholarships. Admissions team of universities usually take a look at a couple of criteria when they give out merit-based scholarships, such as your GPA, your test scores, your IELTS or TOEFL score, or GMAT or GRE score, your motivation letter or statement of purpose, your recommendation letter, basically trying to decide how bright of a student you are. You should absolutely check out my 10-minute video where I talk about these kind of scholarships and I give specific detailed tips and tricks on how to increase your chance of getting one. For most of the universities, in order to be considered for these scholarships, you need to apply before a certain deadline. For example, in my school, there was a deadline February 1st, and the school website basically said if you want to be considered for a merit-based scholarship, you need to apply before this date. And so because the deadline was February 1st, I tried to take my IELTS exam, my GMAT, GRE exam, everything beforehand. I did apply before that and I was automatically considered for a merit-based scholarships. This is how it goes with majority of universities, but I advise you to go to your target school's website, check out the website, see what's their merit-based scholarship policy. Look to see if there are rounds of deadlines. And if you apply as soon as possible, there is a bigger chance of you getting a merit-based scholarship. Another thing about these scholarships is that whenever you apply to a university, you should make it absolutely clear in your statement of purpose, in your motivation letter, that you want to be considered for these scholarships. Also, don't hesitate to reach out to your admissions team, to your faculty, to ask these questions. Hey, what do I need to do to be considered to a merit-based scholarship? Ask these questions, send them an email, or send them a message on LinkedIn, but don't spam them. Be thoughtful when you reach out. This was all about the scholarships. Again, we can talk about this for hours. I really urge you to go to my other video where I talk about scholarships for 10 minutes and I give specific detailed tips and tricks. I will be linking to that somewhere in this video. The other way of funding that I want to talk about is assistantships. These are, in my opinion, one of the best ways you can fund your degree in the US. Think of an assistantship as a job where you work with your manager in the university. Your manager is usually a professor, a faculty member, or sometimes maybe even a staff working in the school. Teaching assistants, for example, they help the assigned professor teach their course. They grade exams, they grade papers, they hold office hours. Students come and ask the TAs a question instead of asking directly to the professor. So in order to be a TA, you need to be really good at some subject. If you're really good at statistics, you can be a TA for a professor teaching statistics. Or if you have won a couple of physics or biology or any other kind of science competitions or Olympiads, you can even be a TA as an undergrad, teaching and helping other undergrads in their coursework. This was teaching assistantships. The graduate assistantships, they're usually awarded to graduate students. It can also be really similar to a TA, working with a professor, or working with the marketing department of a school, or accountancy or finance department of the school. You can be a library assistant, you can be a finance assistant, you can be a teaching assistant to a professor as well. Lastly, there are research assistantships. These are usually awarded by PhD programs where students help the professors do their own research. So you could be a lab technician, or you can work as a data collector, data miner, or you can manage and organize surveys or focus groups for helping the professor do their own research. The best way to get information about all these assistantships, in my opinion, is to reach out to the admissions team and reach out to the faculty team members and see how you can be considered for these kind of opportunities. There are a lot of schools that already consider students as they apply. As they apply to be a student, you actually are considered for TA ships and GA ships. And honestly, you can even reach out to professors in your target school. You can find their emails on the school's website. And you can reach out to them that, hey, I see that you're teaching accounting, or you're teaching marketing or finance. I have X years of experience working as an accountant or a finance manager. Are you looking for any teaching assistants for the upcoming semester or the next year or whenever you're going to the school? But like I said, be thoughtful when you reach out to the people, when you reach out to people that you've never met. Provide as much information as possible, but be as concise as possible. Be thoughtful of their time. Some professors will say, no, I don't need a TA. Some will completely ghost you. They will never reply back to you. But all you need is one professor to come back to you and say, hey, yes, I am looking for a TA. Here is the application. Go fill it out and I will interview you, and then we will decide next steps. This is a possible scenario. I've seen this happen many times. So you can also take advantage of this. Last thing I want to talk about is the student jobs. One of my favorites. This is the topic that I don't see many people talk about when they are looking for funding their degree, but I think it's very, very important to emphasize how helpful they can be. International students on F1 visa while they're studying can actually work under something called CPT, Curricular Practical Training. You can work for 20 hours a week, which is considered a part-time work, and that's what I did when I was doing my MBA. You can Google your target school's website and add student jobs portal right next to it. Almost all of the schools and universities have this student job portal website where they post jobs. They post when it's going to start, how much is the pay, what department it's at. For example, here on this one, you can see that a student researcher can make around $12 an hour, working 20 hours a week. That is around $1,000 per month, which could be a really significant help to a student to pay for rent and food. And here is the bonus tip that I talked about in the beginning. This is coming from my experience, and I've also seen somebody else try this and they have also succeeded. In order to find an assistantship or a student job, what you can actually do is you can go to your school's website again. By the way, your school website has a lot of information, so definitely you have to go through all of those pages and you have to understand all of the information that is already hosted in there. Anyways, you should go to your school's website and open what they call internal directory of people. It basically lists out all of the people that work in different departments like accounting, finance, marketing, HR, or a faculty, staff, library, whatever. What you can do is you can find their emails and you can reach out to them saying, hey, I got an admission to this school. I am coming on a full semester of, let's say, 2023. I have XYZ experience, and I was looking to see if you have any opportunity in the finance department or marketing department for a student job. I would like to be considered. You can also attach your resume to gain their attention, and that's it. You can reach out to dozens of departments and people like this. But again, do not spam them. You have to be thoughtful when you reach out. Again, there will be a lot of people that will say no. Many people will not say anything. They will ghost you. But all you need is one person to come back and say, yes, I am looking for help. I have so many things to do in the accounting department. It would be great to have some help. And like I said previously, you can make on average $16 an hour as a student worker, which is around $1,300 a month or $1,200 a month. And that is a significant amount of money unless you want to study in California, which rent is crazy here. Things are very expensive. By the way, that's a good tip. Make sure you go to a city that is affordable so that you can actually also afford to live there, not only study. Anyways, this is a topic for another video, but it's worth to mention. That is it for this video. I just talked about 3 different ways that you can fund your degree. That is scholarships, assistantships, and student jobs. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and go check out my other videos. I will be posting more content like this to help international students and American students as well in the US, help them guide through their studies, their internship search, career, a visa, and immigration matters. So make sure you stay tuned. All right, take care of yourself, and I will catch you on my next video.